The Backrooms are an alternate dimension accessible through glitches in our reality. If one of these distortions were to pull us inside, we'd find ourselves trapped in strange places, filled with spaces that seem familiar, yet deeply unsettling, because they stretch on forever in complete isolation. The Backrooms are divided into different levels, each with unique characteristics that can make them dangerous to varying degrees. In some of them, you may encounter entities, and they are far from friendly. With that in mind, the user Sherbert imagined what these creatures would look like if they existed within the universe of Dandy's world. So, let's begin. Level 0, the lobby. Within Level 0, you'll find yellow-tinted rooms, damp carpeting, and fluorescent lights that emit a constant droning buzz. Its layout is chaotic and disorienting, making it incredibly easy to get lost or end up in places that make no logical sense. The lack of resources combined with the psychological strain of the environment can lead to exhaustion, dehydration, and even hallucinations. Forgotten Shelley. She'll stalk you from a distance, always remaining just out of reach, never any closer than 10 feet away. If you try approaching her, she'll slip behind the nearest corner and vanish without a trace, only to reappear moments later. As long as you keep your attention on her, you'll be safe. But if you deliberately ignore her, if you turn your back on purpose, she'll drag you into the shadows where you'll be forgotten, just like her. The danger level is 3 out of 10. Shadow Scraps. She lingers within the darkness, silent, patient. She rarely gives chase directly, instead relying on her powerful tail to restrain her victims in place. The moment she strikes, her grip tightens with crushing force, and once she locks onto you, escaping becomes nearly impossible. Danger level, 6 out of 10. Lost Tisha. A mostly harmless entity that wanders endlessly while cleaning up messes. She won't attack unless you leave something behind, like footprints or spilled liquids. But she's easily distracted by any new mess she discovers, since cleaning matters far more to her than hunting you down. The danger level, 3 out of 10. I'm trapped. Nowhere to go. I can hear my own heart louder than my thoughts. I don't know what to do anymore. Boxen, deceased. Suspect killer, scraps. Level 3, electrical station. Level 3 is an abandoned yet still active electrical station filled with maze-like corridors, humming machinery, and endless cables stretching through every hallway. The flickering lights and constant mechanical noise create an oppressive and disorienting atmosphere. Electricity itself is the greatest threat here, as contact with exposed wires or outlets can be instantly fatal. Getting lost is easy. Surviving requires extreme caution. Computer Virus V. Once she spots you, there's no escape. She will pursue you without mercy, relentless in her hunt until you're dead. You'd better pray she never finds you, because she doesn't play by the same rules. She doesn't just chase you, she tracks you. She can see every moment you make, hear every breath you take, and predict your escape before you even think about running. No matter how fast you are, there is no way out. Danger level, 9 out of 10. Dandy. You can encounter Dandy on almost any level. If you manage to locate the entrance to his shop, he's friendly, though clearly exhausted and anxious, often sharing information about entities while trading useful items like almond water in exchange for tapes found throughout the levels. Drained by constant nightmares, he frequently falls asleep inside his shop. But don't feel sorry for him. He brought this upon himself. This is all his fault. Danger level, 0 out of 10. Level 37, Pool Rooms. Level 37 is a massive and disorienting complex of flooded rooms and endless hallways filled with warm water and pristine white tiles. Its architecture often feels unnatural, connecting spaces in impossible ways while hiding dangerously deep areas where drowning becomes all too easy. The water has calming effects, though their true nature remains unknown. Sound behaves strangely here, and the constant rippling throughout the level creates an unsettling illusion of peace. Drowned Astro. He doesn't do much, mainly because he can't move. The brick chained to his legs keeps him permanently anchored in place. There's an aura surrounding him, one that slowly makes you feel drowsy, so tired that you could simply drift away, close your eyes, and fall asleep right there in the water. Danger level, 4 out of 10. Thalassophobia fin. He lurks within the darkened sections of the pools, charging toward anyone unlucky enough to cross his path. His exposed ribs function almost like centipede legs, allowing him to crawl unnaturally fast while pursuing his prey. He cannot enter illuminated areas, so if you remain in the light, you'll be safe. A flashlight can temporarily disorient him, but surviving is far from guaranteed. The danger level, 6 out of 10. Sunken Shrimpo. This is an entity you should pray you never encounter. Fast, volatile, and terrifyingly aggressive. He moves at disturbing speeds using his many limbs. The longer the chase continues, the more his fury builds, until it erupts into blind and uncontrollable rage. Danger level, 7 out of 10. Gigi. She steals from Dandy while he sleeps, not out of cruelty, but to keep her group alive. Though if she ever gets caught, she'll quickly shift the blame onto someone else. She does whatever she can to help, patching clothes, scavenging for food, and trading scraps for supplies. Loyal and resourceful, she always gives everything she has. She genuinely believes a simple bandage can fix almost anything. Her relaxed attitude can feel comforting in a place like this, but it can also be dangerously naive. Level Fun. Level Fun is an enormous warehouse filled with inflatable structures that seem to stretch on forever. Once the entrance disappears from sight, the walls vanish as well, leaving behind nothing but an endless maze of colorful inflatables. Despite their harmless appearance, the interiors are dark and claustrophobic, with sinking surfaces capable of trapping anyone who isn't quick enough to escape. Certain paths hidden within the inflatables eventually lead toward a massive slide, connected to another section of the level known as the Playrooms. While this first area is considered relatively safe, wandering too far without caution can easily lead into far more dangerous zones. Party Sprout. He may not be the fastest entity around, but he makes up for it by leaving tendrils scattered behind him. And those tendrils, they're the remains of previous victims, the people who came before you, and you could very easily become the next. They hold balloons to lure in unsuspecting wanderers. Once you get close enough, they suddenly lash out, wrapping around you before absorbing you directly into their mass. The danger level, 7 out of 10. Confetti Razzle and Dazzle. Keep your eyes open at all times. This entity hides within the ventilation system, silently waiting above unsuspecting victims. Once they're directly overhead, their ribbon-like arms wrap tightly around their prey, before dragging them violently into the vents. Pay close attention to any stands of confetti hanging from the ventilation shafts, because most of the time, that's the only warning you'll ever get. Danger level, 6 out of 10. Birthday Boy Cosmo. Cosmo appears harmless at first glance. Traumatized, fearful, his body covered in severe burns that reflect years of suffering. But never mistake his stillness for safety. His pain is unpredictable, and once it overwhelms you, he becomes just as dangerous as the entities surrounding him. Beneath that quiet exterior hides something far more violent than you'd expect. The danger level, 4 out of 10.
Channel after channel, nothing worth watching until you find something different. The best Dandy's World ideas are out there, but they're not always easy to find. That's why we bring them straight to you. Subscribe and don't miss a single one.
Connie. Ever since discovering Boxton's lifeless body, Connie's once playful personality has changed completely, replaced by constant unease and growing paranoia. She pretends she's fine, but deep down she knows she isn't. The trauma and stress are slowly tearing her apart. Though brief conversations with Gigi seem to give her small moments of comfort, she relies heavily on her ghost-like abilities to scout hallways and hidden corners, making sure the rest of her group stays safe from whatever may be lurking nearby. Level 129. The White Forest. Level 129 is an endless snow-covered forest filled with gigantic black trees and unbearably cold temperatures that never change. Despite being brightly lit as though it were daytime, no visible sun exists, giving the entire landscape a strange monochrome appearance. The further you travel, the more unstable and distorted the terrain becomes, with steep hills, visual anomalies, and increasingly aggressive entities appearing throughout the forest. Abandoned camps containing supplies can occasionally be found scattered across the snow, but the environment itself remains the greatest threat. Beneath the surface, the snow can become deceptively deep, causing wanderers to sink and suffocate before they even realize what's happening. Frostbitten Babette. She can hear even the smallest sound you make, every breath, every footstep, every tiny moment, and once she hears you, the chase begins. At first, she moves slowly, almost desperately, as though she's savoring the hunt. But with every passing second, she gains speed, rapidly closing the distance between you. Despite her massive size, her stamina seems endless. She can continue running far longer than any human ever could. The danger level? 10 out of 10. Hypothermia Cole. The longer you remain near her, the darker your surroundings become. The shadows gradually deepen over time, and her very presence seems to accelerate the process. However, as long as you maintain at least 8 feet of distance from her, the darkness itself won't be able to affect you directly. Danger level? 5 out of 10. Frigid Louie. Louie is considered one of the few genuinely friendly entities within the Backrooms, although his appearance suggests otherwise. His body is covered in twisted branches that almost seem alive, and while he enjoys showing off his little tricks to travelers, getting too close can quickly become dangerous. Those branches can lash out without warning, sharp enough to impale anyone careless enough to lower their guard. Danger level, 2 out of 10. Coco. Coco does everything she possibly can to help her group survive, constantly tending to their wounds and trying to keep everyone together. She's absolutely terrified of the entities, especially when she sees the twisted versions of her friends trying to attack her and the others. And honestly, who wouldn't be terrified? She frequently scavenges for food and water, desperately searching through abandoned areas for anything that might help her group survive just a little longer. Run for your life. Run for Your Life is a level consisting of an extremely long and narrow hallway resembling an abandoned hospital corridor, illuminated only by glowing red exit signs that create an oppressive and deeply disturbing atmosphere. Before entering the hallway itself, travelers appear inside a locked room containing 2 doors. One of them unleashes entities that violently attempt to force their way inside, while the other serves as the only possible exit, though opening it is incredibly difficult. Once outside, survival becomes a non-stop sprint through the corridor, with occasional doors appearing along the way that may offer escape. However, stopping for even a moment always carries enormous risk. Rabbit Pebble. He's faster than you, and he never stops. The moment he locks onto you, escape becomes impossible. He doesn't tire, he doesn't hesitate, and his pace never slows. No matter how far or how fast you run, he will always remain just a few steps behind you. You don't have a chance. Only time. Danger level, 10 out of 10. Ichmophobia Brightney. She moves with terrifying speed, her spider-like legs gliding across the floor with unnatural grace as she rapidly closes the distance. Each sharpened limb lashes through the air like barbed wire, striking with deadly precision. A crimson glow pulses from within her body, bathing everything around her in sinister red light, while dragging long shadows behind her every moment. The danger level is 10 out of 10. Crawler Toodles. She hunts with playful determination, every moment quick, fluid, and unnervingly energetic. To her, this isn't simply a chase. It's a game, and in her game, she's always the one who wins. The moment she catches you, there's no escaping. Her razor-sharp legs will pierce straight through you in one swift and merciless strike. The danger level is 10 out of 10. Level 150. The Infinite Garden. Level 150 is a massive collection of plant-filled chambers connected by endless concrete pathways that stretch endlessly into the distance. While the level may appear peaceful and even habitable, especially with small groups settling near food sources and exits, it is far from safe. The environment becomes especially dangerous for individuals suffering from allergies or mental instability. Illuminations come from strange artificial windows, while each section of the garden changes depending on the surrounding vegetation, becoming increasingly bizarre the further you travel. Despite its calm appearance, the level remains deeply unpredictable and potentially deadly. Overgrown Basie. She may appear delicate, even harmless at first glance, but her patience has limits. Damage her flowers and she will devour you. Her tendrils move with deadly intent, surrounding you from every direction, dragging you deeper and deeper into her grasp until you become nothing more than another lost soul trapped within the garden forever. Danger level, 4 out of 10. Blight Yada. She won't attack you directly, but she'll always remain nearby. At first, her presence feels strangely comforting within the isolated maze of flowers, almost calming in a place where everything else wants you dead. But eventually, invisible spores will begin seeping into your body, while black vines slowly grow beneath your skin, spreading further and further until they finally burst through your flesh. Fortunately, if you manage to put enough distance between yourself and her, your body may still have a chance to resist the infection before it fully takes hold. Danger level 6 out of 10. Grassy Hills Dandy. During the daytime, he remains completely motionless, like a statue standing silently among the fields. But once the sun begins to set, he starts moving. With terrifyingly sharp vision, he scans the landscape from miles away, searching endlessly for movement. And the moment he spots you, he becomes relentless. He will smash through windows, tear through doors, and force his way indoors just to reach you. Never assume you're truly safe inside a building. Stay hidden. He can see through windows from impossibly far away. Danger level 9 out of 10. Wandering Brusha. Brusha is entirely passive and extremely difficult to encounter directly. In fact, you're far more likely to find traces of her through the artwork she leaves behind. Any paintings scattered across walls, floors, or nearby surfaces are signs that she was there before you. And even if you somehow manage to catch a glimpse of her, she'll quickly break your line of sight and vanish without warning, leaving behind nothing but small droplets of paint in her wake. The danger level is 0 out of 10. Dial. After a close encounter with Dandy, he barely managed to escape with his life. The attack left him twisted, mangled, and horribly broken. Although he still maintains some control over himself, his temper has become dangerously unstable. Push him too far, and he may completely snap. In exchange for any information explaining what happened to him, he is willing to trade useful supplies and valuable items. Danger level 2 out of 10. Within the Backrooms, staying safe is nearly impossible. If you found yourself trapped there, what would you do? Because honestly,